Kyoma had always believed that success meant helping others rise too. It was something her late mother used to tell her when life felt too heavy to bear. Never close your hands, Kyoma. You never know who God will use to bless you next. That belief shaped her life, her choices, and unfortunately, her downfall. When she first met Adaora at the University of Lagos, they were two ordinary girls with extraordinary dreams. Adaora was loud, confident, and fearless. Kyoma was calm, intelligent, and reserved, the type who believed in slow progress. They weren't best friends at first, but when Adaora's roommate moved out, Kyoma offered to share her food and space. That was where it all began. They became inseparable. Kyoma admired Adaora's energy, while Adaora often called Kyoma the soft girl with a golden heart. Together, they dreamt of life after school, good jobs, luxury apartments, and a little peace of mind. After graduation, reality hit hard. Lagos was cruel to job seekers. Weeks turned to months, and Kyoma spent most of her days hopping from one cyber cafe to another, applying for jobs that never replied. Adaora, too, complained constantly about rejection emails and unpaid internships. But everything changed the day Kyoma got a call from Crestgate Consult, one of the biggest PR firms in Victoria Island. She had applied there 3 months earlier and forgotten about it. The voice on the phone asked her to come for an interview. She went, nervous but hopeful, and nailed it. That job changed everything. Kyoma worked harder than anyone else in the company. She was the first to arrive and the last to leave. Within months, her dedication caught the attention of her boss, Mr. Williams, a man known for his strictness and perfectionism. He often said, "If I had 10 Kyomas, this company would be unstoppable." 2 years later, she was promoted to executive assistant to the CEO. She moved into a better apartment, bought a small car, and even started sending money home to her younger brother. For the first time in her life, she could breathe. Then Adaora called. It was a rainy Thursday evening. Kyoma had just returned from work when her phone rang. Adaora's voice trembled with exhaustion. "Kyoma, please. I've been job hunting for months. I'm tired. I don't even have money for transport again. If there's any way you can help me, anything at all." Kyoma smiled faintly, even though Adaora couldn't see it. "Send me your CV," she said softly. "I'll talk to HR tomorrow." She did. The next day, Kyoma printed Adaora's CV and personally gave it to Mr. Williams. "She's hardworking," Kyoma said, "and she reminds me a lot of myself." That single sentence would later haunt her forever. Adaora was called for an interview and got the job, a front desk position. She was beyond grateful at first. She hugged Kyoma so tightly after her first day at work, tears in her eyes. "God will bless you, Kyoma. I swear, I'll never forget what you did for me." But the Lagos office environment has a way of changing people. Within weeks, Adaora transformed. She began dressing more boldly, expensive wigs, designer handbags, and perfumes that left trails in every corridor. Her laughter grew louder, her confidence sharper. Everyone noticed. Mr. Williams noticed too. He started calling her into his office more often. At first, it was under the excuse of office training. But soon, gossip began to spread. Some said they saw Adaora and Mr. Williams having dinner together after work. Others claimed she left his office late at night. Kyoma tried not to believe any of it. But her instincts whispered otherwise. Emails she was supposed to handle began getting redirected to Adaora. Mr. Williams, who used to consult her for every decision, suddenly became distant. Meetings were held without her, and projects she initiated were handed over to Adaora. Kyoma stayed quiet. She told herself it was a phase. Maybe the boss was just trying to train the new girl. But deep down, fear began to crawl into her chest. One evening, Kyoma worked late to finish a client presentation. As she walked past Mr. Williams' office, she heard laughter. Soft, intimate laughter that didn't belong in a workplace. She stopped, heart pounding, and looked through the glass wall. Adaora was sitting on the edge of Mr. Williams' desk, holding a glass of wine. Mr. Williams leaned back in his chair, smiling in a way Kyoma had never seen before. He said, "You're different from Kyoma. She's too serious. You, Adaora, you're exciting." Adaora giggled, her voice dripping with flirtation. "Maybe that's why you made her your assistant instead of me." The room fell silent for a moment, and then Mr. Williams stood, walked toward her, and whispered something that made her laugh again. Kyoma turned away, tears burning in her eyes. She left quietly before they could see her. That night, she couldn't sleep. The betrayal wasn't just professional, it was personal. The next morning, an email arrived in her inbox from HR. "Dear Kyoma, effective immediately, you are being transferred to our Yuyo branch for restructuring purposes. Regards, HR Department." She froze. It didn't make sense. There had been no prior discussion, no warning. She called Mr. Williams, he didn't answer. She messaged Adaora. Her reply came hours later. "Babe, I just heard. So sorry, but maybe it's a good thing. New environment, new opportunities, right?" Kyoma stared at her phone in disbelief. The same woman who had once cried in her arms now sounded almost happy. When she went to HR to demand an explanation, the manager avoided her eyes and simply said, "It came from the top." That was when Kyoma understood. Adaora had replaced her. She was relocated to Yuyo against her will. The office there was small, dusty, and forgotten. Her new co-workers barely knew her name. From managing top accounts in Lagos, she was now handling minor clients and cold calls. She fell into depression. Every evening, she scrolled through social media, seeing photos of Adaora living the life she once had. Trips to Dubai, designer clothes, fancy dinners. In one of the pictures, she noticed something that made her drop her phone. Mr. Williams' wristwatch, the same gold watch he had given Kyoma for her birthday, was now on Adaora's wrist. Her heart broke all over again. Months passed. She learned to survive quietly. No one called her anymore. Even the few colleagues who used to check in eventually stopped. Her world became smaller, lonelier. Then, one morning, she got a message from Grace, her old co-worker from Lagos. "Kyoma, have you seen the news? Mr. Williams and Adaora just got married." Kyoma sat still, unable to move. She read the message again, hoping she had imagined it. But Grace sent screenshots, wedding pictures, a luxury event at Eco Hotel. Adaora in a white gown, smiling beside the man who had once promised Kyoma the world. The caption read, "When love finds you in the most unexpected places." Kyoma dropped her phone and wept silently. The final blow came 2 weeks later when her landlord called to say someone had paid her rent for 2 years. "I don't understand," she said, confused. "It's from one Mrs. Adaora Williams," he replied cheerfully. She said it's a small thank you for helping her start her career. Kyoma sat on the floor of her small apartment, her chest hollow. That act of kindness felt like salt on a deep wound. Adaora had taken her job, her boss, her dreams, and still wanted to look generous doing it. Days turned into months, and Kyoma's light dimmed completely. She stopped going out. Her once bright eyes lost their spark. People said she was too soft, too trusting. Maybe they were right. She applied for other jobs but never got any. Her reputation had been quietly ruined by whispers she didn't even know existed. Some said she was difficult. Others said she was unstable. Nobody wanted to risk hiring her. In time, the bitterness in her heart became her only companion. She never confronted Adaora. She never called. She simply faded away. Years later, someone mentioned that Adaora and Mr. Williams had moved abroad. They had built a family, bought a house, and now ran the company together. Kyoma didn't react. She only nodded, smiled weakly, and continued sipping her cheap coffee in silence. No revenge. No happy ending. Just a quiet acceptance that some betrayals leave scars that never heal. She once believed kindness always came back, but now she knew better. Moral: be careful who you help climb the ladder, because some people will push you off once they reach the top.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment to support African Folktale by Muna. I love you all.